What's up guys, JCon72 here and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showcasing everything new that I've spotted in the 0.63 beta Gamescom demo build. I'll be doing this video in sections and we'll be starting off with everything new about the player inventory. The first and most obvious change that I think they've made is the designated item slots in the top right of your character's inventory. There are now specific slots for holsters, weapons, glasses, backpacks, shirts, shoes, gloves, and anything you'd use in a given session of DayZ. But there is one new slot that we haven't seen in DayZ standalone yet, and that is the belt. I haven't actually seen or heard of any specific belts being added to the game yet, but I can imagine that there would be a lot of specific belts that would serve unique purposes. The next most obvious inventory change that I've seen is the amount of slots in clothing and backpacks because they've been dramatically increased. With the current inventory system on the stable branch of DayZ, jeans can hold 4 slots. Now they hold 9. Currently a couple of 9mm rounds take up the same amount of space in the inventory as an entire can of peaches, and in real life, obviously a can of peaches is much larger and takes up much more space in a backpack than a couple of rounds of 9mm ammo. So going by that logic, they've also increased the size of some items. Cans of peaches now take up 4 slots, being 2x2, whereas rounds of ammunition and bandages still take up only 1 slot. Now if you want to do an action from your inventory like eating, drinking, or loading a magazine, you'll have to hold an action key instead of right-clicking the item and selecting what you want to do. Now for eating, drinking, and loading magazines, the process is almost identical. You hold down the action key for however long you want to do the action for, so if you want to load 9 rounds into your magazine, you hold it down until you've loaded 9 rounds. Your character will load each individual round into the magazine, and once you want to stop, you just release the key. Same goes for drinking and eating. If you want to drink 56% of your water and eat 25% of your cereal, then all you have to do is hold your action key until you hit that threshold and then release it. Personally, I like this system and it makes whatever you want to do with your character a lot more precise. Now let's go ahead and dive into all of the new animations that have been added in 0.63 because there's a lot of them and I really like most of them. First off, let's start with sprinting. This is the one that I actually don't really like a lot. It just looks very odd. I'm sure we'll get used to it once it's been in the game for a little while, but it's still something I don't really like that much. The jogging animation looks pretty nice, it looks natural, there's not much to complain about it at all, it looks good. I haven't seen much crouch walking so I can't comment on that, and I haven't seen prone crawling or rolling or anything like that so I can't comment on that either. What I am excited for though is melee combat. I'm not much of a melee player, but it looks really cool. The hit detection seems to be improved by a mile, and you can now chain together certain types of attacks to make combos. Now I've never really been a fan of the chaining together melee attacks type of thing in any game, but I'm excited to see it in DayZ because it looks so smooth. Another animation that I'm super excited to see released in 0.63 that I've been waiting for the longest time is limping and broken legs. I know every one of you that's been in a gunfight before has had your legs broken in the middle of a CQB combat situation and you can't shoot back because your character is crouching, proning, standing up again, crouching, proning. The works, it's super annoying and you kind of die because of it all the time. That stuff is going to be gone. The new animation for limping actually seems to have multiple stages in it. As you can see on the screen right now, the character is kind of limping, not a ton, just a little bit, a light limp. Each time he's hit after this, he seems to be leaning on his opposite leg more and more. I like this system, it seems to be super effective at keeping characters from running super fast after they've been shot in a critical limb like their leg. I've never been shot in the leg before, but I assume that if you get shot in the leg by any caliber, you're not really going to be running that fast. Something else that I'm sure every single person that's ever played DayZ has really been hoping to have in 0.63 is running up hills. And the fact that you can't do that in the current build is kind of a problem and makes it super tedious to slow walk up every single hill. From what I've seen in the Gamescom livestream, it seems that you can just run straight up any hill that you encounter. Now obviously that's probably going to be within reason. If you're running up an 80-degree angle hill, well, you're probably not going to be running up an 80-degree angle hill, but you know what I mean, within reason. Let's talk about ragdolling, or lack thereof. I haven't seen any ragdolling in the 0.63 demo as of yet. I've seen a lot of fights and a lot of deaths, but they all seem to be animations and not ragdoll physics. Although I'm pretty sure the ragdolling will make it back into DayZ pretty soon, don't worry, I'm excited to see it back in as well. It's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure it'll happen. The last thing I want to talk about before moving on to another topic is opening car doors and trunks. Your character seems to flaunt his hand towards the door or the trunk and it opens. I'm not sure if this is going to be removed, improved, or revised. It's interesting nonetheless and it's not going to hurt the game at all. So let's move on to base building. In an interview on a live stream at Gamescom, lead producer at the DayZ dev team, Eugene Harton, stated that base building will be included with the initial release of 0.63 beta. This makes me so extremely excited. Myself and the rest of the DayZ community have been waiting for base building for the longest time, and I honestly can't wait to have it on my monitor right in front of me. Eugene also said that you'll be able to stack up sandbags to make walls, you'll be able to build towers, electrified fences, all to defend your base. It's going to be fucking awesome. A couple of other things Eugene went on to talk about is a new stamina system, and the characters actually have a very advanced stomach system. Digestion is actually included, which is crazy, but honestly, he'll be able to explain it a lot better than I can, and he did so on the live stream, so I'm gonna let you guys hear what he had to say.
Basically, when you look at how character works now, he actually has a stomach, so you can get it full, and the calories actually get burned properly, and there's a stamina system, so you stop sprinting. The stamina system actually is modified by your weight that you're carrying, so the maximum of the stamina actually gets cut, and the lower it gets, it slowly replenishes. And so when you decrease the maximum stamina, it actually it gets slower because the first third of the stamina is actually quite slower. So the more heavy you are, there are so many details that just like...
The host of the stream at Gamescom also asked Eugene about a release date for the 0.63 beta patch, and obviously he doesn't want to give out a release date because they honestly don't know a release date. Things can always happen, things can be pushed back because of unforeseen issues and bugs, so what Eugene said is this, and I quote, "It's playable now, so it's probably not that far away." That is awesome news. I can't wait to see this thing on Experimental Branch. My original estimate for 0.63 beta release on Experimental was about 2 to 3 months, but my revised estimate now is about 1 to 2 months. I can't wait to get this thing on my monitor like I said before. I'm just super excited. There's a couple of more things I want to touch on just before I end off this video. One of my fellow content creators on YouTube and Twitch, Minder, is actually at Gamescom right now, and he's been tweeting at a bunch of stuff that no one else has seen before within the DayZ 0.63 demo. Here he's got a picture of bloody hands from skinning a chicken, which actually looks really cool. I like that a lot. He's got an option to shave his character and probably an animation to go along with it, and a placeable light on a tripod for your base. I bet he'll be tweeting out a bunch of other stuff in the coming days, so definitely follow him on Twitter, or if you're following me on Twitter, I'll be retweeting all of the new stuff that he tweets out. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I think I've covered everything that I could pick apart from the Gamescom demo. Remember, I'll be putting up a ton of 0.63 beta content when it's released to Experimental, so definitely don't miss it. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload a new video. If you want to discuss this further on Reddit, I'll link to a post that I got a couple of my talking points for this video from. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments section below. I want to hear everyone's opinion, and I will see you guys in the next one.